We're live. We're live. Oh, we're live. Oh, thank you, Theo. He does the head thing. You should have seen him, guys. He was doing like this, before we went live, just to make sure everything was in place. Welcome, Fyodor Chin. How are you?
Hello, Carolina Rabasa. Diana Carolina Rabasa.
Diana Carolina Rabasa Uribe Gasser George Gomez Castro. It's
what? How many names is that?
Latinos do this thing where they just take the last name from their dad, then their mom, then their father's mother, then their mother's mother, then their father's father, then so you just keep going up the tree. So wow. I could choose to just be Rabasa or just add them all and sound like one of those crazy 1800s Spanish people or like conquistadors or whoever. Yeah.
You could absolutely be a conquistador.
What is your full name?
My name is Fyodor Ben Chin.
Is it just Ben or is it Benjamin?
It's just Ben, yeah, which is I always thought was a little odd, but that's my dad's name. Ben Chin.
That's so cool. I kind of feel like it's neat.
It's
kind of cool ring to it.
Maybe it's kind of Jewish-ish, right? Like Ben Hur, maybe I guess, or the Ben. They just say Ben and not Benjamin so much.
Oh, I didn't know this, but I don't know a lot about Jewish culture, so I should ask Jen Cohn a little bit more.
Right. We should ask Jen Cohn next time.
Absolutely. Theo, who is standing behind you in that little weird cutout thing? What's going on there?
Oh, that's me. That's me. So last season, during the baseball season, when they didn't have any fans in the stands, most stadiums you could pay a little money and they would send them a picture and they would stick a little cardboard cutout of you in the stands. And so some good friends of mine, they for my birthday, they're like, hey, it was like a surprise. And like, oh, we got you this. And so, yeah, they that was sitting out in, is it called, used to be called AT&T Park. I don't even know, like, the stadium, the name's changed.
Yeah.
So I think maybe is it Oracle? No, anyway, but the one in San Francisco, where the San Francisco Giants play, that was sitting along the third baseline all season last season. All season, and probably in a better seat than I've ever actually had when I was
in your life.
So this guy got a good view.
And then they got to go pick the duder up and bring it to you?
Well, then they send it to you when the season, they'll just send it to you when it's...
Shut the front door. That's awesome. I love it. I love it. That's so great.
No, and it's perfect for Zoom now. I can just kind of plant it here sometimes. Just,
And people just think it's you and you stay very still.
Yeah, exactly.
So
during a rehearsal or something, or a table read, I'll just stay there.
Yeah, you recently did a really cool reading at a theater.
I did some live theater, some actual live, real, in person in a theater.
Tell us about that, because you're a true thespian. You are.
I'm a real thesbo, as they say.
You're a thesbo. I love it. I hadn't heard that, and that cracked me up. That's so great. It's
I enjoy treading the boards every once in a while, as they say. But yeah, it was it was at La Jolla Playhouse down in San Diego.
You physically went down.
Drove down. They put us up, and for the week, and we workshopped this new play.
Fancy.
Yeah, and so it's part of a program, I guess, that that they would usually do, just developing new plays, and they have some guest artists come down, and you'll basically kind of work on a play and help the playwright develop it, and then we did 2 performances of it, and fairly stage readings are not like a full production, but you got the script there, and but it's a little more than just standing up, sitting down.
Yeah. Was it open to the public?
It was, yeah. Tickets were free, and there were a couple of guys, Dice K and Earl Kim. I don't know if you know them. They're in this other game, Ghost of Tsushima, which is pretty popular, and they actually had some of their fans come out.
Yes.
So
some of your fans too, dude. You are.
I guess so. Well, I'm in the game, but you
you die in the first scene.
To the extent. There is that. Yeah. At least one of the parts, but yeah, it was just nice. It was nice to be in a theater, to be with other people. I mean, everyone was vaccinated as far as we don't know about the patrons per se, but everyone in the production was, but yeah, it was a nice glimpse of what possibly could be if we all just continue to be smart and get vaccinated, folks. Get vaccinated. It's perfectly safe, so please do that, and we can. Yeah,
you're just growing a little bit of like green warts on your face, but besides that you're good. And in private areas, we don't talk about that.
And the tail, but I think that's kind of cool.
Right.
I've always wanted one.
Isn't it in Hal? I Love You, Hal, or Hal? What is it? Fat Hal, or what was that movie? Shallow Hal. Yeah. Doesn't that guy have a little tail? It's kind of cute.
Right.
It's a little nub.
Right. Jason Alexander. That's right.
Yeah.
George Costanza. Yeah, he has a little.
So is Jess into the little tail? Is she digging it, or?
She loves it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Good.
She likes it. Right now, it's fairly hairless. So that's
right now.
Right now, who knows? After like tail puberty, might sprout some.
Interesting. I wonder if I'll get a hairy tail, because I'm not a very hairy person. So.
No, you aren't. Yeah, you aren't.
Yeah. So Phil, let's talk about some really fun stuff. Your IMDb for video games is way bigger than I thought.
Is it?
Because we have. Yes. We have not talked about all the. I mean, I know you've done a bunch of film and TV, which is rad. And then I just went down the rabbit hole of your 24 video game titles.
Oh my goodness.
Wasteland 3, Godfall, Yakuza, Ghost of Tsushima, which sounds delicious. Red Dead Redemption 2.
It is. I highly recommend the next time you find yourself in a Japanese restaurant to order the Ghost of Tsushima.
Could we have the Ghost of Tsushima? Far Cry 5, Metal Gear Survive. Like, oh my God. And then I go down, and there's more. Like, dude. You're a true voice actor.
Well, I mean, I think we're all, I think it's kind of weird to differentiate between the two. I think we're all just actors, right?
No, I know, but we before we did Overwatch, we were just actors that did voice work, and then all of a sudden we were called voice actors. And so then when I see the slew of work you've done in voice, I go, "Oh, you are a true voice actor," even though I know you've always been an actor and a very talented one.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, I think we're
you broke you popped the cherry way before Overwatch, my friend.
Well, here's the thing. So after I graduated, I went to UCLA, and after I graduated,
I've never heard of it. Is it a community college?
It's a small liberal arts college here in
Maine, I think.
Actually, in Los Angeles, California.
Oh,
Yeah.
UC. So it stands for University of California, Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
For those of you in Europe wondering.
But so after I graduated, I wasn't quite sure. I knew I wanted to act, but I wasn't. Didn't know if I was quite ready to kind of tackle the LA market. So I moved back home to San Francisco. Did the smart thing and lived with my folks for a while, as you do, right?
Drove them crazy. They drove you crazy.
Yeah, definitely. Yes. It was a mutual crazy making situation, but affordable.
What was dating life like with your parents?
Oh yeah.
Dead to the world.
Basically, if like a gal didn't have her own place, it wasn't going to happen because I
got it.
Bring anybody.
Okay. So your Tinder profile said must live alone.
Well, this was in the
before Tinder.
This was like you remember like classifieds or I guess was the personals, I guess, that kind of thing. In an actual newspaper
or Craigslist.
Yes,
Craigslist had a thing.
Yeah. But anyway, so in San Francisco, if you were acting, there was there's probably, it's about the same now, I would imagine, but there's like a handful of agencies, like 4 or 5, and they're all like kind of one-stop shop where it's theatrical, commercial, voiceover, print. They would all do everything, as opposed to here you would get you would have a voiceover agent, a commercial agent, So you just you would get an agent and they would send you out on everything, and that would include.
They would send you out on everything.
Well, as you do. Right?
You missed it, Zenny. They would zen you out.
Oh, they would zen you. I see. Yeah. Yes.
Dad jokes coming out of sombra.
Oh, so many.
Yes. Guys, Theo is the master of dad jokes. Wait till he starts cracking them.
But anyway, so they would send you out on commercials, industrials, voiceover stuff, and so I got my first taste of voiceover work in San Francisco, and it was probably some commercial spots and some industrials, and my first video game there, and so it wasn't.
And you recorded out of San Francisco, or did you come to LA to do it?
In the Bay Area, I remember. I think the very first video game I did was a game called New Legends, and we actually recorded that, and that was cool. At the Skywalker Ranch in Maroon. Yeah, that was and then I was like mine, and that was when it was still, the main. That's what they used it for.
Yeah.
Like Lucas could have been like just around the corner and that kind of thing. But,
holy cow!
Yeah, that was pretty sweet.
Yeah. So what made you come down to LA?
Well, I think I had after about 4 years in San Francisco, I had reached what most would consider kind of the ceiling of what you could do.
The breaking point with your parents.
They had. It was either get a job at the post office or get out of this house. No, I had done a couple of national commercials. I had gotten all my union cards.
Did your parents support you?
They did. That's cool. I mean, I think they were, always, slightly disappointed that I didn't choose something else. But but they were always, I think it probably bummed them out, like any parent would be. I think, and it's not because. And
now they go around telling the world, "My son is Zennyatta."
I don't know that they do that. No, but I think I think ultimately at the end of the day, parents just want to make sure you're going to be okay, and
Yes.
and so. But anyway, I had reached the what I could do in the Bay Area, and I felt like I was ready to come back down, and yeah, that was 2001. So that's about 20 years
some
ago.
of the kids here weren't even born then.
No, I know.
No.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
20 years ago. Yeah.
So you're 75.
That's
You look really good.
Well, I try to, you got to keep it neat.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, I love the haircut. I was digging the long hair and the Mr. Miyagi look.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, Theo looks like he's, 29 again.
I'm a chameleon, But no, I was digging that hair for a while, and then certainly the with what I could do with the facial hair, but it was very limiting because unless they were going to remake like Gremlins, and I'd be the guy just selling them down in Chinatown. That's really the only part that was appropriate for.
That's funny. However, I think you could have been like a very wise,
a wise
leader, whatever.
Selling Gremlins.
Oh, you're right, of course. Back to Gremlins, sure. Yeah. So you didn't want to try a side shave before you, a samurai thing? Oh, okay. With the long hair, you could have done little ponytail.
Well, actually, now that I think about it, when I did go in for that first haircut, as he was cutting it, that is how he cut. He's like, oh, let me give you like a fake little kind of mohawk, or you could kind of see it. Yeah, but it was pretty wild.
Yeah. Sorry. So back to your very important career. I mean, we love film and TV here, but we do focus on voice work because I do think that people who do voice work are seriously undervalued and not represented, but they just don't get the credit they deserve.
That's true. Yeah, no, I'd agree with that.
And you've done a ton of it, and I want to know more about getting into that because I know you do a ton of audiobooks, which we can get into in a minute. But what was the first, voice work besides the one in San Francisco where you were like, holy shit, this is kind of cool. It can be another avenue of acting as I pursue film and TV and theater.
I mean, I think actually it was that first video game, and because I was lucky enough to. I was like the lead, basically like the guy on the cover kind of thing that you played. And
that's cool.
It was pretty cool. Yeah, it was kind of cool. It's funny though, because like if you look for it on I think you can see like clips on, but it's definitely that very early 2000s, like super like kind of QB kind of like it's like it doesn't look great, but like it's like you can kind of see the future of like, oh, this is where this potentially could go. But yeah, no, it definitely, I think that was definitely a great, lesson to be like, oh yeah, this is, because certainly with voiceover, as I think it's a little more, you get to play characters that you wouldn't necessarily, because, it doesn't matter what you look like.
You get to sound like a white person sometimes. It doesn't matter. They're not going, oh, he's Asian, we can't.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
But yeah, so.
When did you feel it took off and it got rolling and you were just like, oh, like, because I booked radio commercials for Spanish stuff in New York, and it felt good to do, little spots that would give me little residuals, but I don't remember feeling like voice work, and now I'm super excited when I get auditions, and I'm super excited to go in for sessions, and I feel true, like I'm an actor who does a lot of voice work, and it's really, really fun,
Yeah. No, and I gotta say, you have some very impressive range, Carol. I mean, not that I don't know why I would have thought that you wouldn't, but no,
but you know what's interesting? I think
really cool stuff.
Thank you. I do like doing a lot of voices, but and some actors are really just good at being a version of themselves, and that's fabulous.
Right.
I think though, because we're always auditioning for what we can feasibly play.
Yeah.
I don't know the range that my theater friends have if they were to do a bunch of accents, a bunch of age ranges, because we're always playing our, 10 years of whatever.
Yeah.
5 years up, 5 years down.
Right.
But nobody's ever asked me to play an old lady in the theater, so they don't know I can sound like this. We don't know these things until we start doing animation, right?
That's true. Yeah.
And so that's what I think is so freeing and fascinating. Give me a voice that's been one of the most fun things you've done that you can think of off the top of your head that was weird, that wasn't, Theo could feasibly play this with his age range and ethnicity.
Huh.
Because you have some low sounding characters that sound a lot older and wiser, I would Asian say, masters.
Yes. No, I would actually say that that's kind of my bread and butter. That kind of the wise, sage type kind of thing, or the the villainous samurai type, I don't know. I mean, I don't.
Okay, no, yes, but again, and with age makeup and long hair and some whatever, you can play one of those guys, but they're gonna book, Graham Greene for that, even though he's Native American. I'm thinking about whatever,
James Hong. I think you're right. James Hong will continue to play all the old Asian guys, until
he dies, and you reach that age.
Which I don't think is anytime soon. I'd say he's still quite spry, and he's like 90 something.
That is insane.
He is just.
Pauly Shore. Oh, you do a great Pauly Shore. Is that correct?
No.
Booty farts.
Pauly Shore, man.
Can you do a good
The Weasel. What is even Pauly Shore's? I can't even remember. But
I don't either. Sorry.
But James Hong, I could think shut up, Mr. Bird. Shut up. That's basically Big Trouble in Little China. It's just you can't get better than that.
Do you do a lot of? Is most of your work accented Asian or not necessarily?
I mean, I'd say I don't know if a majority, but certainly that is like I say, a good in my wheelhouse, and certainly kind of bread and buttery kind of stuff that I know I can get that out, no problem.
Okay, sorry. I need to small parentheses. Your laugh has been mentioned probably 5 times already, like how great it is. And Blurry Umbrellas, yes, his laughter is infectious. It is so great. Every time you giggle or chuckle or laugh, it's wonderful. And I love that the chat is very aware of this. So question, I geek out about accents. I really, really love them. And what do you have a range of a few Asian accents, the really, really heavy, and then the in between? Is it like your go-to Pan-Asian, or do you specify like heavy old Chinese man versus he could be Japanese, but we don't know? Like, what's your?
I mean, I think like, and you know this, that I think it all comes down to specificity, in everything. If it's comedy, if it's acting, whatever.
Yeah.
Specificity is everything, and so I think if you're doing an accent, whether it be Chinese or Japanese or first obviously you never want to say like, oh, it's a general Asian accent, because there's no such thing. I mean, that's not a real thing. And so as far as the character, whether or not the producers are aware of it, or because like sometimes they just might be like, oh yeah, just Asian. It's like, but then that's on you to it's like, well, no, let me figure out, for me what this is specifically. Is it Chinese? And then is it, and you could even go even further with that as far as were they Mandarin speaking or Cantonese speaking? Because that, there is it's pretty subtle. And, and the thing is with accents in general, as an actor, this, back in the day, you could go to Samuel French and just pick up a book or a CD and Texas accents, and it'll give you a whole, and you could just listen to it, study it, but there doesn't exist anything like that for any variety of Asian accents. And so for that, you either kind of have to dig into your own personal, like, if you think about like relatives or like people you knew in school, or you find that like YouTube is truly a invaluable resource for,
Absolutely.
You can find videos, accent videos, and but I think like you that we just, it's something I always thought was fun and certainly part of the job.
I have forgotten. Do you speak Cantonese or Mandarin?
I don't. Like,
you don't?
I don't. I mean, my parents speak Cantonese, and my dad.
You understand?
I have that where it's like,
Yeah.
You know what it was? It's it's that classic, second generation thing where, so from like kindergarten to fifth, and they would make us. I went to Chinese school every Saturday morning, and was just so resentful about. On my Saturday, couldn't watch any cartoons, and it was just like, fuck this, and like just like willed myself not to learn it, and like much to my regret, like if that was one of those things, if I could go back in time, and it's like, hey, listen, man, you should really study this because I can't tell you how many parts you would get like auditions you would get years later and be like, what am I don't know, and
but so, I understand school on Saturday, shit, man. There has to be a happy medium where kids these days can learn it on a school day and not feel like their weekend's getting fucked over. And then they'll be like, oh yeah, let me learn my parents' language because it's important, Right. There's got to be a nice way to do it rather than like force it,
I think that, plus like, and I was always the kind of kid where if something didn't really come easy to me, then I wouldn't, I just wouldn't want to do it, so. Yeah. So
wait. So question now: if they are asking for a character who speaks Cantonese or Mandarin, can you give me an example of what they would sound like a little bit differently, knowing the differences yourself, or do you just go, oh, I can only do this specific one and not? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you mean like with an accent? Or,
yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I always say the difference between Cantonese and Mandarin is kind of like Spanish and French. That I think people would say Spanish is kind of like it's a kind of a harsher sound in a way, and whereas like Cantonese, that's the one where people say like, oh, it sounds like that they're angry or they're yelling at you.
Okay.
Because like a lot of times when I was a kid, and then my mom would be like, oh, just saying something, and like why is your mom yelling? It's like, oh, that's just her talking, because like it sounds a little angry, and then Mandarin, where it's like French, it's a little softer, kind of. It's like these kind of kind of like shushy sounds, So when it comes to the accent for both, Mandarin is it's a little kind of softer and less harsh, and then Cantonese is a little. It just sounds a little angry.
Well, so come on, give me an example of you speaking some sentences with a harsh Cantonese accent, because I'm geeking out over this. I dig it.
Well, let's see. Carol, I don't know. Carol, I tell you that I say Cantonese. It sounds a little more like adversarial. It sounds kind of angry, and obviously, if playing that character, then like you kind of play into that a little more. But like, whereas with Mandarin, it would be like if you think like, oh, he's like, well, here's the thing, because like with that kind of accent, it would most likely be like, oh, it's like a Hong Kong gangster or something like that, or like some kind like a mob boss.
Okay.
So it would have that kind of Whereas if you're doing Mandarin and it's like oh, he's the whatever the consulate general, to the what I'm saying, and so it's a little more it's measured and it's calmer and it doesn't sound quite so angry, but then that also it goes into the character that you're playing too. But like you know what I'm saying, but like that's and that's not to say that you couldn't have like a Cantonese official type,
right.
But that's it. Just like that, the accent also kind of informs the character and vice versa.
Yeah. Oh God, I love that stuff. So let's get into the meat of Zennyatta. How did you? Because we've done videos for my YouTube channel where we do voice lines and we just exchange them. But yes. I don't know if we've shared this, or maybe you have on panels at cons. But finding the balance of a monk, you know, a freaking what's the word for him?
He's an omnic.
Omnic monk.
An omnic monk.
Speaks super chill. Did you choose to have an accent at some point, and maybe or did you do 2 takes?
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, I think you know how it went. The first audition was just, you know, your agent probably, you know, they sent you the breakdown, and I think there was some artwork at the time, but yeah, basically it was like robot monk and very zen and very, you know, peace loving and that kind of thing. And so I think I sent what I thought was my take on that. And in my mind, I was thinking like, it might have even said like David Carradine in Kung Fu or something,
okay.
You know, which you know has that very kind of, you know, measured kind of tone and sedate kind of sound.
Did they specifically want Asian or Chinese?
I think
actors?
They did because, you know, they I think they made it clear that he's, even though it's a robot, but it was a Tibetan robot, or like, you know, and he went to a Tibetan monastery. So yeah. So I think, you know, after getting the part and we were there for the first session, we did kind of try some different stuff, and they were like, oh, well, let's, you know, like try an accent. But I think we did like maybe a couple lines with that. Like, yeah, that doesn't really make sense because, you know, he's a robot. But I think we wanted that, you know, there's no other way to say it, like just that kind of Eastern sensibility where it is that kind of, that Buddhist kind of very, and I think that's not necessarily an ethnic thing, but just that kind of like, it's very measured and very kind of, you know,
and he meditates and he
meditative,
floats.
Very,
would you say that you keep your Zen cool when you talk about politics?
I wish I should practice that. Yeah, it'd probably be better. It'd be better.
Thank you, Make America Great Again.
So much better for my blood pressure.
It would be.
Yeah. Oh, but not to get into it too much because, you know, I could go on and on as you know, but very quickly, just in case any of the Ravasa lovers out there if you live in California, Californians, please vote no on this gubernatorial recall election coming up. I think you should be getting your ballots very soon, but please vote no on that because you know, this is just an awful, you know, attempt to ruin our state. Because look, we're talking, you know, we have a $79 billion budget surplus. We are controlling COVID. We are, you know, people are, you know, getting back their lives. So please, let's not fuck it up by, you know, trying to, you know, put some other governor in there as much as you maybe think, you know, is a job. But please vote no on that recall. Okay, back to our... And
vote yes for Theo as president of SAG-AFTRA.
Oh,
I mean, sorry.
That's... But yeah.
Well, tell me about that, because I feel like it's a cool thing to know that you're jumping into that, and what made you want to add that to your plate? SAG-AFTRA, our actors union, we're having our elections, I think, right now. Yeah, they're happening if you're in the union. So a couple of friends of mine who are also involved either as like convention delegates or in some capacity with the union reached out to me a couple months ago and asked if I wanted to get involved. And, you know, they told me that the actual like time commitment and work was going to be fairly minimal. So as you know, I'm a pretty lazy guy. So, you know. I didn't know that. So what does a convention delegate do? Do you go to conventions and delegate things?
We attend our union convention and, you know, discuss the issues or listen to the proposals and that kind of thing. And I guess we vote on, like, you know, or whatever the subject may be. But, as far as I was told, there wouldn't be a lot work.
Yeah, I don't believe that. But okay. Good luck with this.
No, thank you.
Election.
Yeah, no, and so please, vote for me. Convention delegate, I think it's number 389, and also Fran Drescher for president, and Anthony Rapp for secretary treasurer.
The fact that the nanny could be the president of our union is kind of funny and awesome.
It would be. It was like, oh my god, that would. I can't. Is that no? That's more like.
That sounds like Chandler. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Chandler thing. No, but she does go. Why, Mr. Sheffield? Like she has that weird, loud sort of. But I don't do it well. So yeah, I got.
Really, I don't either.
Fran Drescher. I used to do the nanny well. It was a show that I watched a lot. So
good show. Funny.
Yeah, I enjoyed it very much. Okay, back to your amazing career. How did Zenny change your life, Phil?
Wow. Well, I mean, I think, Did
it change your life? You met us.
Absolutely. I don't know that I would have ever met Carolina Rabassa in any other context. So certainly.
No, we wouldn't have.
Probably not. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, no. I'm trying to think. Would we have crossed paths? Yeah, no. I mean, maybe through other actors.
Hold on. No. Wait. Did that? It was a couple years back. It was like someone's birthday. And then, you were like,
yes!
right there. So it's like, so maybe in that context.
Yeah. We ended up at a birthday party.
Like,
Corey, he's a theater actor, and my composer friend took me, and then you were there. We're like, what? Yeah. But I think we just would have been like, oh, cool dude. But I don't know if we would have. You know what I'm saying? No, we already had this thing. So
certainly, would not have spent a week in the Philippines. Or
No, that was crazy. So would there have been did Zennyatta give you this other sense of voice acting in your life that you didn't quite grasp?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Definitely. No, I always say that, because for most voice actors, and I think just in general, it's a pretty solitary, activity, generally. It's just you in the booth and maybe the director's on the other side and the engineer, but you hardly ever get to meet, the other people you're actually working with, in the game with, or even, sometimes with animation, you might do kind of a group session, but I don't even think that happens that often. And so most of the times you're just in that booth and you kind of record stuff and you just go home and you kind of forget about it, and you don't think that the work that you're doing actually, it's out there, and it might actually reach a lot of people and affect them, positively, like Overwatch did. I mean, I think that's what was so amazing about it is that, we were recording these lines, into this mic, and then, literally millions of people, really, responded to it, and love it. And I think that's such a wonderful thing.
Wonderful, weird, special, fascinating thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you feel Zenny has opened doors for other jobs that maybe wouldn't have happened otherwise, or it's hard to?
It's hard to say. But I definitely think that I'll get a lot of auditions for very kind of educated or sage kind of characters. So I don't know if that's directly related or if that's just an essence of my voice, but
wait. Go.
Oh no.
Well, there's a question here for Sombra, but it could apply to.
Oh yeah.
So my question, just out of curiosity, thank you, Moon Devil Queen Chris. It moved. On the Sombra voice line for the points, does it have to be made up when you type it for laughs, or does it have to be from the game? Ooh, I don't understand that question at all. Oh, got it. I thought you talking about in game? Oh, you can request whatever you want. I can make it up for whatever you want. I can say they can donate points, and I will say a voice line at the end of the stream. So you can choose one, or I can just throw one at you. I thought you were talking about like when the writers wrote this. I'm also going to have Zenny help me out at the end. So feel free to say I'll have Zennyatta do some sombra ones as well. So. Good. Thank you. I thought you were talking about points in game, and I was like, I don't know what's going on. So
yeah, let me tell you. Do your fans know that you and I you and I for sure are probably the worst Overwatch players in the history of the game.
All time? Absolutely. Absolutely, dude. I put a video together of BlizzCon 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah. I've seen it. Yeah. Okay.
Jen and I dressed up, and we're like going at it, and we're trying to play a little bit of Overwatch 2 because that's what when there was a tiny thing, and we were pathetic. And at one point, you're like, I think I moved the camera over, for 2 seconds, and you're in it, and it shows how amazing we are.
Yeah, no, it was me, you. Anjali and my wife. And
my wife.
We're arguably the worst team composition.
Look, Anjali she's
decent. I think
she's better than we are for shizzy.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of buttons. It's just so many buttons.
It's such. I gotta say that next time they ask me about gaming,
it's a lot of buttons.
It's a lot of buttons.
Because like we were playing on the computer there, right? And like it's like I could do like a PlayStation or something, but with the keypad and forget it.
Even on PlayStation, man, I'm just like
it's a lot of buttons.
I'm completely idiotic. Yeah. Yo, tell me about your career in audiobooks. How did you start doing this? Because you do it all the freaking time, and you're really good at it.
It's I would definitely say it's not for everyone. It is. It's for someone
very even-keeled who doesn't want to on their microphone.
You want a comfortable chair, for sure. And you want a lot of hot water, some tea.
Coffee to stay awake.
Yeah, no coffee. I think that, you don't want to...
got it. Okay.
But yeah, I always say it is the marathon of voiceover. Because, you'll be... sessions are... It's 5, 6 hours. Yeah.
And usually it's just yourself recording by yourself.
Well,
or Jess helps.
My wife. I am very, very fortunate to have my wife helping me because she does all the tech stuff, which I don't.
She's an angel because I would shoot myself in the head.
Yes. Because some people. I probably record by themselves, I guess, but that can be very, because you'll kind of get into a zone and then you stop listening and then you're, going to be fucking up and stuff. And because what you're supposed to do, there basically are 2 ways to record. You either, it's called punch and roll, and you record, and then if you mess up, you stop, and then you go back, and then, you take it from there. And so it's obviously much more helpful if you have someone doing that rather than sitting there trying to fiddle with and the other way is called free roll, which is you just read it and it's just rolling. But then in that case, you would always have a director or someone marking the script where to
know when to fix it up.
Exactly, to help the editor.
That's a lot of crazy work.
It's a lot, yeah.
Tamstri has a great question. What do you do? How do you do female lines in audiobooks? Like when you're saying, and then Joanne said, like, can you tell us a little bit about how you do these things?
Right. Well, I think with most audiobooks, the general school of thought has been, and I think what readers or listeners are used to is that, because most people, unless you're like, I don't know, Eric Bauza or something, but you don't have that. I can't do a convincing, I wouldn't be able to do because I just physically, I can't do a convincing woman's voice. So what you want to do is you just want to suggest, you want the essence of, And so for me, like a woman's voice, it's always just it's a little bit higher, but like it has that kind of, because like, it's not going to, convince anybody.
Choose a random, grab a paper next to you and just give us a taste of what your audiobook voice sounds like.
Well, if I'm reading an audiobook, this is a recipe for zucchini soup. This zucchini soup recipe is delicious, healthy, uses only a handful of everyday ingredients, and is great for using up your summer zucchini harvest.
And then Jess said, go into your female voice.
Right, into that. And so, yeah. Easy zucchini soup recipe, zucchini potato soup, prep time 10 minutes, cook time 30 minutes.
And then John said, what happens when John responds?
Right, John says, prep your ingredients. To cut the zucchini up, I slice it, then cut the slices in half moons, but you may want to chop it in smaller. It's smaller if using large zucchini.
And then and then their 5-year-old son, Beavis, said,
Okay, yes. To a fairly large soup pot over medium-high heat, add the olive oil, butter, and onion. Saute for 5 minutes.
Grandma Rose walked in and commented on the soup.
Stir the garlic and cook for 30 seconds or so. Add in the zucchini, potato, chicken broth, and Italian seasoning.
Wait, if there was really an audiobook that had all these characters coming in, is that what you would do?
Well, yeah. So, I mean, you do accents and like, character voices as best you can. But it's the difference is it's like, it's not exactly like a radio show where it's like, on, So like, yeah, I mean, you could do like a grandmother voice and you would want to, as long as it's not like
cartoony.
I guess. I mean, and it depends on the book too, obviously, I guess. But,
Oh my goodness.
But that's I mean, that's why audiobooks can be fun because you do get to do like a variety of like accents and characters that depending on the book, obviously.
Yeah. How many audiobooks have you recorded?
Probably over 100 for sure, but yeah.
What?
Over years and years, yeah. So yeah, that's actually, I mean, compared to like actual like audiobook guy, like yeah, that's not that much.
Oh my God, that's a ton. I would be so proud if I would finish one because I hate narrating. I hate it.
Well, I mean, like real talk. If it is something you're interested in, I can certainly send you, to some folks, or But I will say again, it really isn't for everyone because you're right. Like, yeah, I think you have to enjoy reading. You have to, be able.
I enjoy reading to myself, not out loud to people.
Right. Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because I mean, people, because I'll get asked that, like, oh, I'd love to get into it. It's like, well, I would say the first thing to do is just like, grab a book, like maybe your favorite book, and literally sit down and try reading the first chapter out loud.
Read out loud.
See how that goes. Because, I mean, you might not like it because it's really a lot of work.
I thought I'd be fine. I went to an audiobook audition in Spanish in New York, and they just have my voice on file, and I read, freaking 3 pages, and I was just like, I don't like this. And they have my file, but I never was called in for anything. Thank God. Also, they probably were like, she sucks. But like, nah, man.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And then like real talk, if we're talking about just in terms of the amount of money for, work done, like if you want to break it down to like an hour, it's the worst.
It's a lot of work.
Like you could do a commercial, one national spot, one line, and you're talking like, maybe 15 minutes in a studio, 5 figures, you can't beat that.
Yeah.
And not that we're just doing this for the money, folks, but hey.
Well, right, because you also book the commercial once in a blue moon. It's not like we book commercials all the freaking time and work great,
Right.
So is there an audiobook you enjoyed narrating? Which is your favorite?
I've there's actually one out.
Which one would you recommend to these listeners?
There's a terrific audiobook I just read. It's called The 1,000 Crimes of Ming Su by Tom Lin, and it's basically set in the Old West, and it's about a Chinese American assassin on the road to redemption and revenge, and it's like it's a cool Western, but with a protagonist that you haven't seen before in that context. Check that out. And then there's another great book that I actually did with another narrator, Natalie Naudis, and it's called We Two Alone, and it's a collection of short stories about the Chinese diaspora. And they're great short stories, and it's a really terrific read or listen here.
Super.
Yeah.
Super cool. Is there a favorite character besides Zenny that you've done in a video game or animation that you're just like, that was a fun experience? That you can talk about, because I know there's some sexy stuff with all your NDAs.
It's, you and I have some that we're.
We do, but we can't talk about it for a while. Yeah,
we don't want to get fired or replaced. I think getting to play Splinter in a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles video game once, that was definitely You
played Splinter?
In the video game, yeah, that was a few.
How cool, dude!
That was fun. I mean, because it's to get to you see this, like you get to be, the Sensei Rat was awesome. So.
Fuck yeah! How does he sound? You don't remember?
I don't remember, but
okay. Because I think Eric Bauza does him for the actual.
I'm sure he does,
right?
Yeah.
Eric does everything. What does he not do?
He does.
Thank God he doesn't do Sombra, because then I'd kick him. He does a really good Antonio Banderas, so I wouldn't be surprised if he does,
right?
Sombra.
Yeah. The cat. The
Puss in Boots. Yeah.
No, he's he is a special talent.
And also a fabulous human being.
Yeah, true.
You two are similar in that you're both very humble and kind and loving and generous. I would say that about both of you.
You are too kind. Did you see the new Space Jam?
I did.
Yeah.
I watched the old one first to kind of remind myself of things, and then I watched it with my sister, and it was fun. I don't know. I mean, I just was excited to know the voice actors this time, because before I didn't,
Right.
I've had Bob Bergen on my thing. I've, it's cool to be like, oh my God, I've talked to these people, and Eric and I are friends. But they did a good job, like making it modern, and I thought some of the effects were really cool.
Yeah.
Yes. So, are you a gamer? Oh no, we talked about this. You suck. Great. Yeah. Bye, guys. No.
Sorry. I enjoy playing, like when I don't have to play with other people. So, I mean, that's why if you want to get into Overwatch 2, as much as we could say, I'm really looking forward to Overwatch 2 myself, because they'll have that campaign mode where you can just play by yourself and not worry about, bringing down a team or having people get angry with you.
So you'll do that. Yeah.
Right? I mean, so Overwatch 2, when it comes, I think if you like Overwatch now, you're going to love Overwatch 2. And if you're like me and you're terrible at video games, I think you're going to like it too, because
I feel like that should be a really great commercial for Overwatch.
I think they're going to use this clip, and that's what's going to be. If you like, you might like it more, and then if you suck a video,
if you suck like me, you're still going to like it.
You're probably going to like it, because you won't have some 12-year-old in Australia.
Do you remember when you did a commercial for a laser hair removal treatment as a Scottish guy?
I do, and we couldn't remember what the name of the actual product.
Yeah, because I had changed it so much. Guys, Theo was a guest on my Hispaniola accent, and I said, I just want you to show up with a character that's a little crazy. He owns a laser hair removal company, and please do an accent that's not like a typical one you do. So he showed up as a Scottish man, and he was wearing the best wig. No, what did we do? Were you wearing a wig? Yeah, we gave you a wig.
Yeah, it was a wig, and
we left the button-down shirt a little too open, and you had weird necklaces. And did he have? He did. Lazzaretti. I think I had toyed with both names, and he did not have a kilt, Jeff Burns, unfortunately. But it was the most fun editing those, because he was like, Do you want to be as smooth as a baby's bottom? Would you like to be silky smooth like a dolphin? It was so ridiculous. I had to like keep straight. And then I think I did a blooper section where you're talking to my old character, Clem, and you were just like, oh no, yeah, he's got to shave his unibrow, and I'm just like
no
trying not.
We can't have a monobrow.
Oh my god, it was so funny.
That was fun. Yeah.
It was ridiculous for sure. So I do this fun thing at the end of the stream, Theo, where I shout out the people who have subscribed to my channel or donated bits or whatever the hell they do on this Twitch thing that I still haven't figured out. Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll also do, Danny has the best ideas. She wants us to do, we'll start with that one. Zennyatta, so my character Ray's in Valorant, it's a new, she's a little loud, she's Brazilian, she's super high energy. She says, obliterated! Because she's kind of like Junkrat and she loves explosives. So if Zenny could say obliterated, that would be awesome.
Okay. Obliterated.
Guys, it's just amazing. Awesome. So we started with that one. Then there's for Norma's wife. I'm going to have a sombra voice line. It goes, ahora no es tiempo y no te levantes. Oh, it's Mercy Ura. Oh, funny! So Mercy Ura is in Wales, and she just changed her name to Norma's wife, which I think is hilarious. So thank you. I'm not going to make you say a Spanish voice line because that one's a complicated.
I had the 1 year in college, but that was. I think this is beyond my.
Yeah, no. Maybe try this next voice line for Maisie Grobe. I'm going to do it as Sombra, and you can say it as Zenny.
Okay.
Oh wait, is it? Oh, it's a Sombra voice line. Thank you. I'm like, is it Ray's? I don't know my voice lines, dude. We're a good team. You're lucky to have me.
We're a good team. You're lucky to have me.
Oh, and then Jeff Burns wants you to do an impression of Bowser's Antonio Banderas.
Oh. Yeah, what's the
I'm pushing boots. Come with me. I don't even know how to do that. I can't go down that low.
I'm pushing boots.
I'm the pushing boots. It's a heavy S because the people from Spain do this thing.
Barcelona.
Well, they do the lisp and they also have like a double S. It's a funny thing.
Really? That's a lot.
It is. You know what people don't know? It's the lisp is only with the C and the Z.
Oh.
And then when they say
it's not actually a lisp on an S.
No. And that's where everyone thinks they just lisp around. It's very specific sounding.
So it's Barcelona, but it's España.
Yeah, that's why they're not like España. It's Ibiza because of the C, Barcelona, and España.
How do you even get to that? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. If we
think about it, like, you know how the TH has this th sound? In another language, they just decided that the C and the Z have this th sound versus an S. Like, that's their choice of right? I don't even know, but okay, wait, we haven't finished our subscriptions, right?
Okay, yeah.
So now I'm gonna thank somebody who subscribed, and you just use a funny voice, whatever voice you want, doesn't have to be Zenny, to thank them. So they've resubscribed for 1 month at tier 1. Thank you, Lightning Shay.
Thank you, Lightning Shay.
Yes! A resubscription for 1 month is Talon Poppy.
Thank you, Talon Poppy.
Yeah! We got another resubscription. Thank you so much for your generosity, Cyber Cifrado.
Oh, thank you, Cyber Cifrado. Yeah, thank you.
That's hilarious. Cheering for 5 bits, Brother Bear 358.
Brother Bears. Yeah. Are you reading these somewhere? Where is it?
Sorry, you don't see them. I see them.
Okay.
I have a little thing. Yeah. Then we've got a resubscription for 1 month. Maisie Grove, I hate when you subscribe. It's Danny. She shouldn't be subscribing. And the line goes, I don't like avocados.
Oh, I don't like avocados.
What a douche.
They're the worst.
And that's it. We hit them all.
Yay.
That's their choice to mess up Spanish. What? Hey, Neko Joe, what's up? Neko Joe is the awesomest Puerto Rican on the planet. I hope to see her soon at some cons down south. I'm going to some cons. I know.
Are you? Are you going to Orlando?
I'm going to Orlando this weekend.
I'll be praying for you.
Thank you. I need it. Yes.
If you're please get vaccinated. Get vaccinated.
Let's wear masks for that.
Yes, wear masks.
Yeah.
Wash your hands.
Yeah. Oh my God. And friendly. I always want to say friendly, but friendly Ginger, how are you, darling? I hope to see you soon in the UK. We have a lot of really fun fans in here today. The VIPs.
My God.
The VIPs. Guys, this has been really fun. Theo, before we leave, can you share the one takeaway from this pandemic besides getting vaxxed? Dude, let's talk some emotional, philosophical shit. What did you learn that has kind of carried you through?
Oh gosh. I think just more than ever, just being in the moment and enjoying just where you are. Even if that is just at home, and hey, there's always good television, good content. It's just really, just being in the moment and making the most of what you got, because
life is short.
Yeah, it's all pretty. It's just hanging on by a thread.
It is. Guys, that was some Zenny advice for y'all. So thank you for joining me. Give Theo a follow. Danny always puts the link in the chat for your Instagram. Yes. And thank you for joining me, Zenny.
Absolutely. The present is a gift. I see that. Oh, that's great. Is that an actual line? That's awesome.
It probably is. The present is a gift.
I love that. That should be a step.
It is. Guys, and keep booming and booping, Yeah. Boop. All right.